Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Discretion, Love is Kimes edition. We start today by talking about Love is Blind, episodes 7 through 9, and then Charlie will join us for the second half of this podcast to talk about the 9th episode, the penultimate episode of The Traitors. David, we've seen some real villains in the history of this show. Shake, Arena, Bartice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have ever been as viscerally angry watching Love is Blind as I have been watching Chris. Is this recency bias? Am I forgetting how bad Shake was? Or is it merited? Because I actually have to apologize to my husband because I think I literally have been in a bad mood towards every man I've been around the last 24 hours.
Hashtag not all men.
Poor Vic.
Hashtag not all men.
Honestly, actually, every other man, like Kevin's going to come to the reunion smelling like roses.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, just this dude, even Alex, who don't worry, I have smoke for Alex. Chris is so awful that I feel like every other man is going to get cover from him. But let's go back to my question. Am I overreacting or is he worse than the previous?
I think whatever the opposite of like Pantheon couple is, I think Chris is there. I think he's absolutely there. And he did it. And I think the usage rate to get there was so like he got there in about 15 minutes. Like it was like I think Shake and all these other guys, Bartice, it was over a long stretch of time. And you kind of saw the trash in this building. This was a one-time nuke of trash that like just would not. It was really 20 minutes of screen time to become the absolute worst person in Love is Blind history.
It also answered questions we posed last episode. We're like, it just like, we're waiting for this bomb to go off. We're waiting for them to have a falling out, and boy, did they. I think we got to start with Chris and Jessica.
We got to start there. We got to start. It's like Alex was like Darth Vader, and then Chris was like Palpatine, just popping up, being like, "I'm the actual person pulling the strings. Here's lightning bolts from my fingers to show who the real bad person is."
Alex is just like a run-of-the-mill F-boy, I feel like, whereas Chris is like an actual supervillain, to your point. I think the context is important because before the breakup, the couch breakup, which we'll get to, of course, something I think very important happens, which is they go to each other's houses. We see this for all the couples, most of them really. His house is normal. It's fine. Her house is really nice, and I think that matters a lot.
Yeah.
If a bit perhaps over decorated with gold snake paraphernalia, which is a little weird. It's lovely, honestly, and it reminds the viewers that she is a very successful woman. She is a 38-year-old doctor who has built her own career, and it is no coincidence, I believe, that after Chris sees her house is when he turns on her. Because, David, I truly believe that this man got so insecure, so petty, that him seeing how successful she was, he probably would have turned on her regardless, but and broken up. But I do think you can connect A to B here.
Yeah, which is why I don't think he was breaking up with her. I'm really not sure if he was breaking up with her.
Really? Okay. All right. Good.
I'm not sure.
He wasn't either.
I don't think this dude was breaking. I think this dude was tearing this woman down to the baseboards when he saw that house, as you mentioned, and he was tearing this lady down to shreds with the thought that she would, I don't know, grovel, follow him, or whatever. I think that I'm not sure. Now, again, we got to get to the couchness of it. So we don't know what the original conversation was. But this feels like a dude tearing this woman down with the thought that she was going to come back and whatever she, feel like she needed to look hotter, feel like she needed to do Pilates. Like, I think this was some sort of red-pilled loser podcast dude thing,
I want to
power move
reassert
about
my alphas. Yeah. You're like not better than me.
Absolutely.
You might be right, because it is a couch conversation. Longtime listeners of Love is Kimes know that when we see a couch conversation, it's usually being restaged or rehashed out. They did get in a fight already, and they hinted that she's, when he comes in, it's like obvious that they've been fighting already.
Right.
But yeah, it is possible that they aren't reenacting a breakup, but that they are simply reenacting a fight that's happened before. And it is also possible, you're right, that he thought he would come out on top and that she would stick with him. So I had trouble taking notes because I was so angry writing down what he said. But he said, I'm trying to pick to your point, now that I'm revisiting it, he says, I want to see this whole thing through.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick my words carefully. Do you think we have a good physical connection? For me to be totally nor honest without sounding like a dickhead, in the normal world, I date people who do CrossFit, someone who does Pilates every day. It's hard for me to be physically into it. I've been thinking about my number 2 person. She says, I work at the hospital every day. If my body isn't good enough for him, I'm not going to say, please love me. I will go home. Well, okay, so once again, I think we have to acknowledge something here, which is not only this would be insane behavior on his part and detestable regardless of what the woman on the receiving end of it looked like. But as a viewer watching it, you feel it's similar to the Devonta and Britt. We'll get to that. You feel crazy. This is a physically fit woman. Like this.
Yes, right. Like this is a woman, because we just saw her and in a bathing suit a couple episodes before. Looks like a fit woman, looks like as good. Like, again, to her point, I am a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a doctor. I am a very busy person, and I look good. I feel good. All these things. And by the way, so I'm not a big Pilates person, but I feel like Pilates every day is I feel like you shouldn't do Pilates every day, right? Is that I feel like that's a little, I don't know much about Pilates. I feel like you better take a rest day here or there. Like Pilates every day feels like something, I don't know. I don't know if he wanted her to quit her job. Like, it feels like he wanted her to I don't know. Like, he just wanted her to humble herself.
I actually think it's all freaking fake. And now I'm starting to think about it. The more I think your theory is right, which it was never about the Pilates, right? Like, he slashed on to Brie, and I'm not commenting on Brie's physical appearance. She never talks about going to the gym. Like, that's not a big part of her. Unless it's not being shown to us, she is not a workout freak either. So I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he's totally full of it, and he just came up with something as a way of trying to assert his dominance in this relationship. I believe you.
Because also, like, sex can't possibly be. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is describing sex with her as the most
worst he's ever had.
Yeah, so
the worst he's ever had. Dave.
Worst he's ever had.
Well, yes, okay. We might as well just get to let's just get to because the meetup deserves the bulk of the time here and energy. Well, so before the meetup, he meets up with Connor and lies. Right. He acts like he's still into it, and Connor, who comes out of this episode looking pretty damn good, by the way, it tries to be like nice and normal, and he's like, are you still attracted to her? You could tell her you want to work on it. And Chris lies. He pretends like he didn't say the things he said, because we see that scene of Connor and Bree getting their texts. So they go to the meetup, and before he shows up, the girls talk. It's delicious.
Yes. It is fantastic. We have, I mean, I'm not going to do your list for you, but we have some serious like number one with a bullet based on just the straight up roasting that we were getting this whole time.
Amber, my queen.
Do the LeBron James like
they all go in on him, delightfully so. Not all of them, but like Bree tells them she got a weird message from him. Yeah. Emma notes that he bought followers.
Love
that being called
Emma
out.
dug into the follower counts, where they're from.
Emma's 27. She knows what's up. She's on the internet. And then Amber Bree says he told Connor he usually goes for 21 and 25-year-olds. Amber,
weirdo behavior.
Weirdo behavior.
He's 32 years old. He's
Amber
32
gets
years
in
old.
Gross. This is gonna be bleeped. Gross, narcissistic. You're too short to be this cocky. I was literally watching like, get him. There's more, of course, because she, Amber, and this is why she gets queen status, actually read him in person, unlike some of the women. Yeah. Jess shows up, looking great, says he started, this is really interesting, an Instagram account the night they broke up and posted a photo of himself at the strip club.
Which, by the way, selfies at the strip club is like, come on, dude. Selfies at the strip club? If you're not there for a bachelor, like bachelor party, sure. You're just on a Wednesday night at the strip club and you posted selfies. Come on,
who is this for? Like, who do you think is going to be drawn? There's such an insane disconnect with him, and it really is coherent with like.
It's just a guy who doesn't give a flying.
He doesn't what?
I don't know if you heard.
It's the new I played soccer. I forgot who pointed out that he was saying it. They're like, Connor said it. He's like, I've heard him say it 4 times already. Love that. Okay,
and then so say it like 10 more times.
10 more times to the women. The other thing is like I saw Connor gave an interview where Connor was very kind. Like he was like, this guy sucks, but like he was like, look, he had a little bit too much to drink. Okay, so perhaps he walked in drunk, but he walked in with this attitude, like I'm Mr. Cool and I'm justified. I don't have to apologize for anything. So we hear him in the bathroom saying, Bree's so hot. What's Connor gonna do? Beat me up.
Is he saying that? I'm just gonna imagine he's saying this to the mirror. He's saying it to the mirror. I'm just in my mind, he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's like, Bree's gonna she's all about this. That's what he did.
I just don't understand. I do understand, because if you think about this through the mindset of a 32-year-old man who is very into that lifestyle, CrossFit and all that, who follows like Andrew Tate, which is, again, it's hard. I think of like a 16-year-old boy thinking this is cool and this is how to treat women and talk about women and get away with it. The fact that it's a 32-year-old man is what is so insane about everything that happens in this scene. Like, it's insane.
That's what these dudes are, though. Like, these what these guys are. Like, there's the Andrew Tate. There's the other. I forgot what the other. These podcast dudes are like. How do you game these women? How do you humble a woman? How do you put her down to your level? Like, I'm gonna go on a date and pretend I don't have my wallet to make sure. Like, there's like all of these things that you do with when you don't actually like these women. Like, when you don't actually want to be with them, what you want to do is impress other dudes with the women that you have and tear down women. Like, this is the personification of that culture. This is red pill podcast culture in its purest, uncut, unstepped on form.
I've never seen it straight up. Like, I've read about it. I've seen teenage boys. I've never seen an adult man. I'm my innocent self who's just not been exposed to it. But I believe, it was eye opening. Okay, so he starts walking up to people. I mean, he walks up to Jordan and Amber, and he's like, well, in the pods, we were like, Amber's too much, but she's perfect for this dude. Again, doing what you're describing, putting her down. Amber is not having it.
Right.
Amber says, first she tries to be like, she's like, well, he's perfect for me. And he's like, I know you probably hate me. And Jordan's like, no, she doesn't. She's like, nah. Jordan's very non-confrontational about it. Right. And she has a fantastic line, which is, you think you're going to get another hot doctor? I don't care. He says, so he goes up to Ashley, Bree, and Priyanka. Put a pin in that because Priyanka's going to be a character in another plot line. And he says, I don't care if she's a neurosurgeon or a trust funder. I need to be like sexually satisfied. This is where Connor, who's in a separate conversation, says he's heard him say the flying line 100 times. Yeah. He starts talking to them about, sex and I need someone that does like Pilates. And Ashley, I understand not wanting to be confrontational. I thought this group of girls was a little bit too acceding
too
to
much.
him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But she's like, well, did she hide it from you? And he says, no, but she said she danced for 15 years. And they're just all like, they're really trying to see his point of view in a way that I personally didn't love, but I also understand.
Don't need, right.
Not everybody is capable of in-person I'm going to give them a little bit of grace here. In-person confrontation can be tough. It's hard to be an Amber in some of these situations when you don't want to fight, especially with a man who's being loud and annoying. And so because they're like, hey, maybe sexual chemistry can grow. And he screams. It was the worst I've ever had in my life. Screw this dude. Oh my God. When he did that, David, I almost punched a wall.
Yeah. Because also, I mean, it's not possible. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, how bad can it
do?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, but like, how bad are we talking here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, like, there's absolutely no way that you are having sex with a woman and are that repulsed by it, or sex with anybody and they're that repulsed to the point, well, because it's somebody you love, right? Theoretically love, are engaged to, you have this connection. Sure, it could be terrible the first time, you can have issues for, like they said, you can figure this thing out. Like what, like she didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like throw up on your face acid like while it was happening. Like these things can be worked on. And it was really disgusting for him to talk about it like that.
Disgusting. And I think this is, again, I want to make something clear. No one is owed your affection. It's okay to not be attracted to someone. It's okay to break up on the show. It sucks to do it in the disrespectful fashion he did, and I think you were absolutely right in seeing through it and probably what was going on there. What is not okay is speaking like this about another person publicly. It's abhorrent behavior. It is unforgivable. Yes. This man has, like, in that moment, I was like, there's no turning back for me. There's nothing you can say other than, maybe I was on drugs or something. It's absolutely irredeemable behavior. Chris sucks. He sucks worse than Shake. He sucks worse than Bartise. He is my least favorite character in the history of Love is Blind. I'm going to plant my flag here. In that moment, I was so repulsed by him. He sucks.
Should they have aired that comment?
I think that it's a good question. It was so obvious to the viewer that it was not like him spilling tea, but him being disgusting, that I think it's okay. Yeah. I do. I think it's a good, you're not wrong, but I don't, to me, I can't imagine why. It didn't feel like he was revealing a secret. It felt like an insecure man grasping at straws.
It just felt, felt so mean and nasty.
Gross. Disgusting.
And just really repulsive. Yeah, it was just, and you really do want to fight this dude. You really do want to fight. You actually do want to fight this dude. Which, by the way, going to the strip club and then drinking the next night's probably not good workout regimen. Just
right. Great point. Yeah. Oh, healthy Chris. Priyanka and Ashley leave. Bree talks to him. He starts trying to hit on her. It's a great example, by the way, of how these like game tactics don't actually work in real life, because he's trying to do the whole like Connor's submissive, your dad's a legit man, and she's obviously not buying it, and she's obviously going to reject him. I do not love how she entertains the conversation personally. Like when he asks her, was the sex the best you ever had? She's like, no, but it's good. Like, why are you answering this?
Don't you ever, like, if I saw that, I feel like you don't in your life, like, you're going to tell this dude who's pushing up on you, like aggressively disrespecting me and saying like, this dude's nothing, I want you, and you're going to complain about our sex life to this dude. That is like a real big problem.
Even if you're trying to be nice or whatever, you just say lie. You don't entertain that.
You can lie. Yes, this is the best sex I've ever had. It's nobody can, or whatever.
Business.
Or it's none of your business. Right. Like right. Like, why are we even talking about me and my sex life with somebody who ain't you, you know, like and you pushing up on me. Right.
Yes. And of course she had the moment earlier where she was like talking to him. We remember in Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think, like I said, I don't think she's going to go run off with Chris. I think she's about to reject him, but I don't think she handled that well at all.
Yes. But does he have a Charles Schwab account? You know, she just needs a guy with a Charles Schwab account. That's what you got. That's what you need.
Any chance Chris doesn't show up to the reunion, we think, because obviously the internet is massively turned on him and he's getting
discovered some things about his financial improprieties, allegedly, possibly, maybe. Things happening with his Charles Schwab accounts that need to discuss. I don't think so. I don't think he's coming to the reunion.
Yeah. There's no coming back from this. Like, I think Alex, there's a way out. We'll talk about it. Like, I can not for me personally, but I think Alex can. There's things he can say. Devonta, same. Chris is. There's nothing you do.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
All right. That was very long.
All right.
Should we do Vic and Christine here? There's not a lot to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we get a lot more Vic and Christine once they're back from Malibu for undisclosed reasons. We get a lovely parent meeting. I thought it was very funny. Christine's mom, Melody, the first thing she asks Vic is, why are you on Love is Blind? Basically, she says, you seem too educated to be on this show. She clearly loves him, unsurprisingly. She also says afterwards that he's very hot, and she tries to This is cute.
The editing of he was very hot, and then the hug is just like incredible
Can
stuff.
I get a hug? She can't get a hug. I mean, a great parent moment.
Yes,
not much to say, right? She seems.
They prayed together. It was beautiful.
We do get also, I think, a pretty serious conversation between the two of them. We get a date. They're looking at like hedge art somewhere, walking around, and they talk about kids. They both are on the same time. They don't have any disagreements. Like, this was actually the moment when I was like, they're going to show this in the trailer, and I was like, this is just going to be a very like earnest conversation, which it was about children. They both have the same timeline. He asks if she thought about having a biracial child. She says she grew up in a rural place. She wants her kid to see other people who look like them. He brings up having tough conversations with kids, and she says she does have some fears about not being able to relate to their challenges. She says she has a lot to learn from Vic himself. What did you make of this conversation?
I felt like it's so. This is my. I know this is not true. Like, this is a far out conspiracy theory because I know it's not true. This felt like every scene with them felt like they'd already said yes at the altar, and then they went back to film dating stuff.
We need a good man.
Right, we need a good, like, they're married, and they're married now. Go back, go pretend you meet this mom for the first time. Go back right there. That's what it felt like. It felt like, because clearly, I mean, they had to have had this conversation in the pod. They've absolutely had this conversation in the pod. Like, go back, like, go talk, like, go do the thing. We can't get a camera crew. You just use your phones. Like, go walk in the field and use your phones. Like, while you're doing this, just go film something, please. We need you guys.
They're lovely. I mean, they just seem like real nice, normal people who are navigating things well. You know, he gives her a tour of his classroom. She's taking him to Hillsboro, Ohio. He makes a joke about going missing. The only thing I think that was like not tension, but like a real emotion that kind of caught, that was like, oh, is she says that there's a part of her that wonders if she's good enough for him. And I think she has some real insecurities coming from like a pretty rural, tough upbringing. And I don't know. They're
fine.
Great. What's to say? They are gonna get married.
This is a Kenya Barris fever dream that's happening right now. So everything's great.
Okay, let's do Amber and Jordan. Because this is quick too. That we don't really see that much with them. I do have a serious thing I want to ask about them. So Amber, we talk. First of all, we see their houses. And look, his house is not nice. It's not. It's very bachelored out. she's so nice about it in contrast to another woman who we'll bring up, especially when we see her house. She's renovated a house and it's like she's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
And by the way, he, unlike, I want to give him some love here too, unlike another insecure man who we've seen in the past, he's like, this is incredible. Like he is receiving the work that she's done and giving it the appropriate amount of praise and respect. And I realize the bar is hell, but I just wanted to take a moment for Jordan for like going in there and recognizing that. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I'm with, and also there's like a lot of like freeze frame stuff with this couple on social. I don't know if you've seen of like this belief that she's like repulsed by him in some sort of way. I don't really see that at all. I think people kind of project. I think they really genuinely just like each other right now.
I do too. I've seen some like, her comments on her looks or his looks. And it really bothers me because from what we've seen, they both seem great and they both seem compatible. And my concern with them is not about compatibility. It's about the kid thing, which is the only conversation I want to have with you because he hasn't met her kid and they're supposed to get married in like 15 days or like less than 3 weeks. He's met her brother who looks a lot like him. And the brother approves. He's met the daughter's dad off camera and they said it went well. She's met his family. But I guess my only question is like, because this is really the only thing that's like giving me any pause. Is this enough time? Because last season, it was not enough time. But everything else, we have not even seen them fight.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's not. Yeah, it's not only enough because this is a different situation than even last season because Jordan was like a weekend dad, right? Yeah. And this is somebody who has the kid. I'm guessing all the or like most of the time because she said that you're bringing her to school and stuff like that. That is a whole different thing. Like 2 weeks is crazy to do that. Like 2 weeks is you haven't done any parenting of this child and you're gonna get married. Like that feels kind of crazy. Like I just don't see how that works out. And I don't see how and I wouldn't want it to. Like like I get the show and all that stuff, but I'm not sure I would want to be married to somebody who has not been part of raising my kid for a little bit of time. I
am rooting for them to get married, to stay together and not get married. I really hope that's how this one concludes, which very rarely happens on this show.
Yeah.
I really, really hope that's the outcome here. I don't know what's going to happen. They didn't show in the trailer.
Well, the daughter's at the wedding. She's the flower girl at the wedding, right? Like they showed her flower. Oh man, I don't know. Like because even because I'm not sure because I remember way back. What was her? I forgot. Was it Charlotte? What was her name? Or whatever her name was? Who had the son or had the kid? Like the first
Jess?
one who had the kid.
The EpiPen?
Jess, yeah, EpiPen. She said like her kid had known where she was going and she might come back with the fiance. I'm not sure if Amber's because she said she just came back and she looked at the ring. Like I'm not sure she knows where she even went and what the thing was. So I don't know.
I'm stressed. It's a unique one because it is. There's some similarities to Jordan and Sparkle Meg. All right, Devonta and Brittany. Devonta might be the biggest winner of Chris.
Yes.
And Alex, because I think he can still get out of this without getting too destroyed. So
the
last was in we saw them at the end of the last batch of the episodes. They were fighting back in Ohio. They seem resolved. He meets her family and they like love him. It's a continuation though of a theme with her from my perspective, which is this woman needs better standards because
I
mean there's a moment where she's like talking about how good he is to her and she's like like he put something in the microwave and there was a little time left and he zeroed it out.
Fight back please.
The dad is like, marry her immediately, you will be my son. Everybody's like they're so into it and I'm just like, want more for everybody involved in this should want more.
Well, if we can get to the bottom of this, which no pun intended, but it seems as though the one scene when she wakes up in the morning and looks at him and says, I see like God in you. It's like he put a little work in. And that might have shifted the perspective a little bit.
Well, I think that's what's helped him resolve things.
Yeah.
But he's still not into her, right? Am I crazy?
Right. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But I think that they're just kind of going through these motions, literally, of of what this thing looks like. I don't know. I didn't feel it. I just don't feel it.
There's a scene where she is like, "You never tell me I'm pretty," and somehow she ends up apologizing to him. He holds up the blanket jokingly.
Masterful gaslighting. Way to go.
He's like, "I love your height. I can hide snacks from you." It's like,
yeah. Well, he said, "You never call me pretty," and that made me not want to call you pretty anymore, because it's like, am I performing or am I just masterful gaslighting? Just wonderful.
Admit you're not into her.
Yeah. If he had known what Chris was doing, he could probably be like, I could bail on this with no problem. Nobody's gonna even remember that I sat on the couch and broke up with her. It's okay.
Their scenes are brutal to me. Just because it's very hard to watch a woman who's that beautiful, like, act so desperate. Okay, let's save Alex and Ashley. Let's do Connor and Bree here. So,
okay,
Connor and Bree, the theme is just the nitpicking. Yeah. So we see their house. So she sees his house. Well, first it starts in bed, and he's like, "We're gonna give it all we effing got." She's like, "Do you have to say effing got?" It's always like stuff like like little. Yeah. They get to her house, and like it's a classic Love Is Blind conundrum where, like, on one hand it's like, she's not wrong.
Right.
He shouldn't have a keg in his driveway as a man in his 30s, and a Christmas tree and a gamer setup that's more important than anything else in the house. But the way she acts and goes about it is, I found, very unpleasant to watch, David.
It's unpleasant to watch and unpleasant to, like, I could, like, being a part of it is not something I would want to have. I would not. I don't want that. I don't want that. You know, I think we talked about this before. Like, I don't like those type of relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like confrontational or like anti, you know, like we were going at each other. Like that's so much discomfort to me. And I hate watching it. It makes me uncomfortable to watch. It would be comfortable to be a part of.
The scene that actually made me the most uncomfortable is when then they go to her place and her mom's there and she's like, "We just came from a frat house." So my husband and I have a thing where if we go on a double date with a couple that negs each other, we really are unlikely to want to go on it. Like we're both so uncomfortable when couples like neg each other, and usually it's one person negging one, but sometimes it goes both ways. Like I just hate being around that date. Like everybody fights, but like when people do that, when they put down their significant other in front of people, I really struggle with that and being around it.
I hate it because it's it's bad vibe. It just creates, like, because also when you're a couple and you're in that double date, don't you kind of feel like it's like you're in or like at a table with somebody's coffin and you gotta like cover like like you gotta like get it on you. You gotta get like the negging on you. Right, like,
yes. Yeah. It's, I mean, it can be a bonding experience as a couple because you feel superior to them when you drive away. Right. but it just sucks. She just does. I look, she's obviously not on we'll do the rankings, and she's nowhere near the hell reserved for these men. But again, there's like it is insane that he puts bread in a microwave with plastic on it, like garlic.
Yes.
You know, there's just things he does where I'm just like, and he says, "Sometimes you're a little mean," and then she's like, "Oh, you're right, I should be nicer." Like it's like a mellowed, watered down version of, who was that couple, the realtor guy who lived at home, and the blonde Hannah was the woman's name. You remember Hannah, the blonde woman with the ducks? That guy.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
And you remember she was always like putting him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Stood up to her. It feels like a less intense version of that to me.
But also, I wonder if there's like part of this edit, because you remember he was the one that kept talking about how she wouldn't shut up with the guys, or you know, like I wonder if there's like a double-sidedness of this that we're just kind of not seeing. Because I remember when he said that, or in the early episodes, I was like, that was a little rough. Like that was kind of a rough
like
way
he could
to
be passive
talk about her.
aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't know, but from
Either
what
way,
we're showing,
unpleasant.
it's not fun to watch. I will say she wanted him to grow a mustache, and it did look good at the end, so I will give her that. When he shows up to the meetup. Okay. Let's do Mike and Emma and then wrap with Ashley and Alex. Mike and Emma, this is tough. They're another one where like we don't see a lot of chemistry.
All we're seeing is them talk about her ovaries. That's basically it. Like basically her having kids. That's all they talk about.
Yeah.
And there's no, I mean, I'm assuming that they talk about other things, but it's to me, it feels like a sort of a bad edit, you know, of like, this is what.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
We see every scene we see of them is like that. Even when they're like in bed and they talk about the promotion and he says, is it part of the future? You know, we want to know, I want to know the future is like, will we be starting a family? It's just constantly. Yeah. And I get it because it is completely fair for this guy to want to have that question answered. Right. But I think it's been answered, man. But so she meets his family. So as somebody who married into an extremely Italian American family here, I am a subject matter expert. They like these are not. I just realized everything I say now sounds like I'm airing out. They love talking about their food. I mean, like you know, Italian Americans, they really do love talking about their foods.
Right. It's not gravy, it's marinara, all that stuff. They were locked in after that. Yeah.
I actually kind of at the beginning of the interaction with the family, I really didn't like them, how they were so pushy about the kids. But then I thought they softened and they were very sweet to her about her adoption story. And they asked her a lot of questions about herself in a way that I actually felt he defended her in these scenes. The mom later said she's beautiful. She would fit in beautifully. Like they clearly really liked her. But it's like, come on. This is honestly, like we talked about how Jess and Chris had this ticking time bomb. Is it not the same thing?
It's the bomb has gone off. The bomb is ticked. It's like ticked off. Like we know what the thing is. And I guess what's bothering me is he's getting a little bit more pushy about it. I mean, I guess like he's maybe I guess pushy isn't, but more firm in what he wants as it goes on. And it's kind of like, well, then y'all are just wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
You know, like y'all are really wasting each other's time at this point. Like y'all are very far apart on a thing when you have 2 weeks away to decide on it. You're very far apart on a thing that when you're about to get married, you should be much closer on than you are right now. You know, like if I had a friend, they were like, hey, I want kids. She doesn't want kids. We might get married. I'd be like, abort mission. Like there's just this isn't going to work, or take your time and try to figure it out. But this feels like they're heading towards, you know, disappointment.
I completely agree. I think what he has to accept or should have accepted or realized is her indecision is an answer for him.
Right.
Even if she were to commit to it, it would be a bad, rash decision in this time frame. She also has to realize the same thing. Like they kind of watching them, it just kind of feels like they're both in denial about the inevitable.
Yeah.
Like she's not going to wake up one day and be like, wow, I wanted this all along, you know?
Yeah. And also because we're not getting anything else, it's like,
I know.
What do they have? Like, I don't know. It would be different if they had other things that I felt that they could glean onto, but that's all they talk about.
That were shown. Yeah.
Yes, that were shown. Yeah.
He meets her family. Same thing. We just see a lot of stuff about the kids. Her family is very protective and defensive of her in a way that actually did touch my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when the parents were talking about how kind she was and how when her mom died, there was a stack of letters from her and how, you know, they knew that, you know, she had a hard, like, well, they said they didn't know the extent to which she was bullied and it was tough. And it was, I think the parents can feel where her parents could sense where this was going. That was the impression. Sister in particular, I thought was like, this is not. She talked about her sister who said if she would do it all over again, would not have kids, and then her kids
It was like she was like, yeah, I wouldn't have kids, and so Mike is trying to like use her to make the point. He's like, no, listen to her. She has kids. See what she has to say. She's like, I hate this. I don't want these kids. Get these little people out of my life. I don't want them anymore. And then they start talking, and she's like, no, seriously. I hate this. I don't like free me right now.
Okay, Alex and Ashley. This is the other big one. So we meet his mom, who is or they talk to his mom on the phone, and he thus learns that she's on the road in Arizona. Okay, driving big rigs, man. Right. They have dinner with her family. This is very fascinating. This is one of the more interesting scenes in Love Is Blind history, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah, I agree. Yeah. The way that they lingered on the scene, it feels like it was like a 20-minute scene. It feels like it lasted forever of this interrogation.
The dad, who is a divorce lawyer, just rapid fire questions him about a lot of things. His job, what he's been doing the last few years, his politics. And I tried to take notes of Alex's answers, and they were so hard to follow because he was so dodgy and trapped and skittish. We learned that he has lost his finance job during COVID, but now he day trades. He wants to get into crypto. He lived in Australia and was a commercial fisherman. He was an accident. His words, his stepfather beat his mom. He did not vote for Trump because he didn't vote, but he's glad he won. Did I miss anything? Oh, what are his plans? He is a walk-on who turned into a first-team All-American goalkeeper, but obviously that didn't work out because of his injuries. There is a wholesale trading job in Florida that I'm involved in. Okay, I'm interviewing for. Was a note that I took.
His grandparents met when they were 10 years old.
That was
and
even that. The dad was like, "So wait, that timeline doesn't add up." I was like,
he was like, my grandfather died at 67. Him and my mom had been married for 50 years, and or 50 some years. And my dad met her at a bank where he was banking at the age of like 14, and she was a waitress.
The dad says,
that's what my aunt says. That's just what my aunt says. That's all I know.
The dad says that I don't think he's a bad person, but I don't think honesty is his strength, which is a wild thing to say about a potential son-in-law. I think in this process, we learn not just a lot about Alex, but actually about Ashley and her family too, to be honest. But let's talk about Alex first. What was your primary takeaway from this incredibly long and painful scene?
It's giving scammer. I just don't trust anything there's something. It's given absolute scam artists. The jobs don't seem to line up. Nothing seems to match. Nothing seems to make sense. You had all of this money that you got from getting laid off, and then you went and you worked at a casino and fished and did things that don't seem like things you do when you get a boatload of money to travel the world. And it's like, yeah, I took the money. Or travel the world. They were like, "Where'd you go?" He was like, "What is it? Like Chicago, New Mexico?" It's like, but it's given scam, and it feels like it's one of those things where Reddit or somebody's going to find out that this dude is lying about all this stuff.
Yeah, it actually is like, I think the first 6 episodes, I felt the same way whenever he talked, but I wasn't able to like put my finger on it. Where I was like, this doesn't like. You know, when you're talking to someone and you could just tell they're full of it. You're just like, you're lying. Yeah. Like everything you say is probably like misleading or a half truth. This was like the real, like it was that laid bare, I think. Because it was just you could tell the dad was onto him.
Not having it.
And it's a continuation throughout the episode of a few other conversations that him and Ashley have, but like he's just not an honest person. Right. The dad's right. And like, to be clear, people are like, "Oh, what a king." He stinks too. Like,
the dad. Oh, yeah. Like
in the scene.
Yeah, he was being an alpha male, whatever. Whatever that looks like. Like that was
like be one up him, and she was just like the whole time, like like going along with it. So yeah, they have a fight. There's 2 more fights. One fight is where it starts with him explaining to her who Jerome Powell is and how what the Fed does. And he starts
even that was such like I'm over here, Jerome Powell. And it was so like everything.
Yeah. He says he doesn't want to get stuck in Cleveland. He wants to move to Florida or Arizona, where he's wearing a Bluetooth, that they align with those places politically. She's like, I've been back 5 minutes. Can I talk to my boss tomorrow? And he's like, in that space, I've gotten a job. This is really a tough season for men. There's a lot of similarities with the Chris plot line, to be honest, as I think through it. He complains about stuff she does. She says, cleaning. She says, while we're airing stuff out, you never initiate sex. She says, you told me you weren't my usual type, your usual type. He somehow flips it about being about her period and how he's not going to track it. And they both just say, do not seem to understand women's.
Yeah, I think we have a bigger villain than Chris here, which is Ronald Reagan and taking sex ed out of schools. Like, I think that's the big villain here.
The education system is the villain of this.
That's right. It's that's the problem, because I am embarrassed at the lack of understanding of how babies are made.
He also okay. Even if he was worried about impregnating, there's a thing called contraception, my guy. And also, do you think he's never you can sleep with a woman at anytime you want?
He seems like a guy. I'm not gonna, he seems like a guy who does not ask a lot of questions when he's sleeping with women. Sometimes, like, he does not get into this level of depth a lot of times. And I feel, and I've never actually heard this in the wild as a actual conversation for people who want to have sex and they don't because they're unsure about when ovulation is happening. Like, that's not how people find. Well, there's a will, there's a way when it comes to sex.
There's a great scene in the show I love, which people should watch, called Starstruck on HBO. It's a romantic comedy with Rose Matafeo. I think she's a comedian. And it's like a reverse Notting Hill, where she falls in love with a handsome actor. And the first time they sleep together, or they're about to, or not the second time, whatever, she's like, just so you know, I'm on my period. And he's like, yeah, I'm also an adult man. It's fine. Whatever. Right. Anyways, I was thinking about it's very funny. But I was thinking about that scene watching this. There's a final fight that's actually much sort of reminiscent of the conversation with the dad, where she starts confronting him about his past relationships. And she's like, okay, so you were hooking up with this girl, but you were in a situation with this girl, and she starts connecting the dots, and he starts panicking in the same way he did with the dad interrogating him. It becomes very obvious that he cheated on somebody with somebody.
Yes.
And then when
and it was very close to the show. That seems to be part of it also.
He got a LinkedIn message to come on the show in October. September was when he hooked up with an ex in Austin. We believe this was filmed at the beginning of the next year. In no universe is this a man looking to get married. Just want to throw that out there.
At all.
At the meetup, Priyanka shows up. And once again, he sketches out and is fumbles on his words, talking to this. He's speaking to the producer. He says, she was in my friend group in Chicago. I didn't want to tarnish her experience. They've hooked up, right? They've hooked up.
Yes. That feels like what it is. Feels like what's going on. Feels like she may even be the girl in Chicago. Who knows?
Ooh, would love that reveal. I mean, she is more his type, as we have
yes.
Yes. Okay. Will be a very rapid will they or won't they see I do. Let's just roll through these before power rankings. Vic and Christine.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, Chris and Jess are out. Emma and Mike, no.
Emma and Mike, no. They're wasting each other's time. And my hope is that I think it'll be amicable. I think they're going to realize that they, yeah.
Ashley and Alex.
No, not at all. Not at all. I hope she says no and humbles him a little bit, and he can go find his tall, tanned woman that he wants.
Tanned and fit. This one is hard. Jordan and Amber. I'm gonna say yes.
I think no.
You think no? Okay. I think
I think no. I think no them. Because I think they're going to come together and like think they need more time. That's what I think. Yeah.
I hope so. Bree and Connor.
No. Yeah. The no.
All right. That's it because Chris and Jess are gone. Oh, we already did.
Yeah.
Did we do Alex and yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
Now power rankings.
I think I'm holding on to my theory. My Vic and Christine crisis actor theory is what we got here.
All right, easy 1 and 2, Vic and Christine, no commentary necessary. Then I got to put my Queen Amber at 3. What a showing.
Yeah.
What an episode.
Yeah, what a good, yes. Good moves. Standing up to that dude, you know?
Yes, it's not always easy to do. I know at home it's us, we can say all the mean things we would say, but sometimes in person it can be hard to stand up to a bully.
Because also he seemed really volatile. You know, like there's that part too. Like he seemed drunk and really.
That's a great point.
Like it was felt unsafe. Like it's one of those things that would make me on edge to be with a dude who's like acting like that.
Totally agree. Put Jessica at 4. Love her. Glad she got out. What a catch.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast anytime.
It is up for her. I know it's up for her right now. She's
DMs are popping.
Yeah.
What a catch. Okay. We'll put Jordan here. He's after Vic. I think the man with the best showing at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Connor at 6. It's a good 3 episodes for Connor.
Yeah. Good run. Good run for Connor. Yeah.
We will do next. I'm gonna put Emma and Mike, who don't belong together but are largely innocent.
Good people. I think they're
not right. Just not right.
Yeah. I think they've been really inoffensive the whole time. They seem like they're trying to figure this thing out. I like them.
I'm gonna put Ashley above Bree.
Okay. Yeah.
Bree, like I said, I think she's gonna reject Chris, but there's a lot of other stuff in these 3 episodes that were not great, including
she lingered too long with Chris. There was too much of that conversation, too much information.
All right. You know what I'm doing right now?
The fight, the battle at the bottom. There we go.
Alex at 11. Then we have Hell with flames for the audio audience, and then we've got Chris at the bottom.
At the very bottom. It's hard. There have been some bad people. It's hard to top or be at the very bottom of all the terribleness.
Sorry, producers informed me that I forgot to rank Devonta Brittany. So we'll throw Brittany between Connor and Emma, and then Devonta will come in just above Alex. So there you go. Devonta, really, in another season, he would be getting the most smoke, but he's very fortunate to be on a season with Alex and Chris. All right.
Vic holding it down. Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Okay, we'll be back next week to talk about the next batch of episodes. But in the meantime, here is our Traitors recap with Charlie. All right, that was my way too long Chris diatribe. Love is Blind recap. Now we're going to talk about the Traitors. Episode 9. We are barreling towards the finish. We have been asking all season if Rob would get taken out. This was the closest he has gotten to getting taken out. Really frustrating episode for me to watch personally, because I just thought the Faithfuls have never made me angrier than they have watching this episode. David, do you agree?
Yeah, because they were there. Like it felt like self-sabotage. Like they were right there, and Tara of all people had it. And it's like to me, it's overthinking. It's like overthinking a thing that you have.
Can I hop for 1 second to hop in? But Tara was right when she was like, Natalie, don't overplay this. It doesn't have to be Rob tonight. Like, if you overplay this, you're going to blow it.
Yeah.
Because of the dagger. Yeah. I think that Natalie's been the biggest disappointment of the entire show for me. I'll throw that out there as well. We'll get to the round table. She could have saved herself. I really believe that. I think she totally blew it. I think she's made decisions out of emotion a lot this season. It's someone who has like such a reputation as like a vicious gamer. I was very surprised by how bad she was in this episode, personally.
Can we call Natalie? She's like James Harden. She's choked in like every high pressure situation that she's been great in the like regular game stuff and playing it, but once in every high pressure situation, when it's getting the vial, when it's like this, when whenever she's in a situation, or even when she's like, Rob, tell him you have the dagger. Like whenever the things get really hot, she makes the absolute wrong decision, even though she can game perfectly. Games 1 through 5, she's straight. Game 6 and 7, she's gonna shoot for 3 for 14 like her good buddy James Harden.
She had a misunderstanding that Traitors was an individual game. It is not. Even all the way to the end, you need a voting block to win the game. And she did not, she had a little bit when she was like aligned with the hunks and Rob's team, but throwing that away that episode was incredibly stupid. Because she could have, we can go through all the iterations and permutations of this, but if she actually thinks Rob is a traitor, if she survives this week and Rob does not have the dagger, she can start just going to the final fire pit with the people that she trusts.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is the week when you start thinking about end game strategy. Charlie, can you quickly explain to people what's going to happen next week? I mean, if you're listening to this, you don't know. It's important to know because it informs everything you do now.
Yeah. So there's one more murder, which we found out at the end of the episode that there will be a murder kind of not in plain sight, but announced in front of everyone so they can see the potential traitors' reactions. I believe there's one more challenge and a round table. Someone else gets voted out. And I can't remember if there are 3 or 4 who go to the final fire pit. And at the final fire pit, essentially, it's like you're in front of the fire. You have 2 things you can throw into the fire. One is end the game. I'm with the people I trust. We win together. One is no, vote again. And you have to vote out one more person. If everyone agrees to end the game and there are only faithfuls left, they split the amount of money they've won over the course of the challenges. If one person says, hey, we're not ending the game, we need another vote, they can keep voting and dwindling down the people so that they can try and eliminate the final traitors. And also, if there's one or 2 traitors left and 1 or 2 faithful and they all decide to end the game, the traitors win. The traitors win and the faithfuls get nothing. You have to get all the traitors out.
We'll talk about strategy from Rob and Eric's perspective. But I think that is, like you said, for Natalie, should have just made it to the fire, man. Okay. Yeah. In part because, let's start at the beginning of this episode, they kill Kristen, which I thought was a terrible. So to go back to last week, they had the choices of Johnny, Tara, Kristen, and Natalie, right? Those 4. And Natalie was, we all agreed, the obvious choice.
Natalie agreed she was the obvious choice.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing to her. Yeah. Like, David, like, why the only explanation I could think of was maybe Rob trying to throw Eric under the bus, but he wasn't. I didn't get this at all.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was Rob. I don't think he was trying to throw Eric under the bus. I think he just legitimately was trying to save Eric by getting rid of somebody. Like, I don't know if he just liked the dude or something, but it was a decision that felt, again, like this reputation that Kristen has as being this genius gamer, which we have not seen so far. But getting somebody who they felt was the most. She didn't check any of the boxes that you wanted for getting rid of somebody. I don't get why they did it.
I had one theory on it because it was dumb. It was the wrong decision. But the one theory I thought was if Rob was looking at the board and he basically was like, with the players left, this takes out Mark and Kristen as a voting block together. We have Johnny and Tara as a voting block together. And Natalie, up until that point, until she suddenly realized that Rob was maybe protecting her, was going to vote with Rob Eric and Maura the entire time. So just getting rid of Kristen, who seemed like more of an independent actor, he could essentially control every vote 4-3, whittle it down to 3-2, and keep voting on the way he wanted, knowing that he'll have Maura and Eric at all times. But it sort of backfired because Natalie was too selfish and didn't realize, couldn't put herself again in the traitor shoes of how to play it in that situation.
Like wanting to be in a block. Yeah, that makes sense. Because he did say often, like, I've got Natalie in my pocket. Yeah. So maybe his thinking was, and also Natalie was easier to turn people on than Kristen would have been or anyone else. So I guess it is a little bit defensible. But if you had eliminated her, I think that they could have gone after Johnny next, for example.
Yeah, they could. They kind of wasted. They wasted like getting rid of somebody. I feel like they could have gotten rid of some. Like they could have really cleared the board this episode with people, right? If you get Natalie and like Johnny out of there, that's 2 blocks of people you're good with.
So, especially we'll get to Johnny and Tara, but like that would have been the time to get rid of one of them. Yeah. Now, I don't think we can. So between that announcement in the morning and the mission is when Tara finally, hilariously, is the first person in the castle to figure out it's Rob.
Yeah. She
pulls Natalie. She says, I don't think it's you. Do you think it's Rob? Natalie's like, you might be right. It's weird that I haven't been murdered. She suggests talking to Maura about it for some reason.
What is up? Why would you talk to Maura about this? That was another just absolute fumble. Why would you bring her into that conversation?
Small interjection here. During this, Rob is again just popping eggs in his mouth at the breakfast table.
Mark pulls Rob, says, look me in the eyes. Rob basically can't look him in the eyes, which I was like, Mark, my guy. Look, he was acting so guilty.
Totally not a traitor. It couldn't be me.
Like, yeah, of course not. Mark is like, well, we'll get to, if he's the only one I feel like he could still win. He brings up the fact that Kristen questioned Eric. Rob says he's worried because Rob really wants to take Eric with him to the finale, which is smart. We'll talk about that at the end when we talk about endgame strategy. The other thing that Natalie and Tara had talked about by the part of me was the Candace vote, which again, it's like crazy to me that there's not more conversation about the throwaway vote, as Maura would say, because it's the only defense they have, and Maura and Rob are the ones advancing this, is like, she's just so random.
Yeah. But she wasn't, though, because she did the throwaway vote and then went after him hard immediately after. Mm-hmm. Like, this feels like, to me, a result of people not being as familiar with the game. As like, if they were familiar with the lore and the game, I think this becomes a simple thing for them to do.
I think on our episode, when she had the throwaway vote, I was like, this is the first time I don't think Rob wins. And like it should have been like, you should
would have like landed on it. Yeah.
Well, even if you think Rob's a faithful, you probably want to vote him out, just knowing that a traitor had put heat on him and like not take the risk. Because and this, I guess, is like it's not a full transition into the end game stuff, but like we are careening towards a situation where I think everyone but Maura knows who the traitors and the faithful are. Like, I think that Johnny, Tara, and Mark know that Eric are essentially know that Eric and Rob are traitors, and they just will not have the numbers to vote them out unless they can swing Maura.
So we're at the point in the game where it literally is just going to be about who has the numerical advantage at the end. Okay, well, we're not there yet. The mission it's actually reminded me a lot of Squid. Do you guys watch Squid Game? It reminded me a lot of a Squid Game episode. Yeah. It's like a carnival. Where it did crack me up when they were walking up to the carnival and Maura was like, Rob's gonna be good at this. I was like, so Alabama. They're in these like spinning, it's like a carousel. I love it when Alan and Lala turned in their own little spinning chairs. Very funny moment where both Johnny and Mark are like, we're experts in spinning. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. You are experts in spinning. Johnny
did you know that you could like try and cross your eyes and that would keep you? That was amazing.
No clue.
That was incredible.
It made me immediately want to go try to like spin and cross my eyes just see if I learned something new.
It felt like when like Nate Tice is breaking down like very intense coverages and he's like, this is what you got to see. This is what the quarterback's seeing here. I was like, this is real ball knowledge.
I really feel like the confluence of watching the show while the Olympics has gone on has made me so Johnny Weir-pilled where I'm just like him and Tara, like By the way, shout out to the god Alyssa Liu. Woo! USA. But yeah, I was like, this is actual real knowledge being dropped. Tara and Eric don't have to spin for medical reasons. So Rob gets eliminated first and like freaks out, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Natalie was like, I think he's acting.
Yeah.
Everybody starts dropping off. Johnny, Mark, Natalie, Tara. Maura says, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to stop doing her accent. Is that offensive?
It was heavy on the tink. She tinks a lot this episode. It was a lot of tinking. She was into it.
Eric wins. Eric wins and gets a shield in the process.
Do you think that Rob was overacting in that moment?
No, I think Rob's just really competitive, and I think he was mad himself. Yeah. I genuinely believe he because I think he's so used to winning the challenges. I think he was just pissed.
I think
he was legitimately pissed off. Yeah,
I do too, and I also think he realized essentially that how important that was. That if he survived the round table, then he could be like, "Well, the traitors couldn't murder me. I have the shield." Like I actually think the second he was like, because he was into like, I need to win this shield for gameplay before it started. Again, I think he was the only one thinking that way, where they all should have been realizing like, hey, there's 2 round tables left and 1 murder. This shield is by far and away the most important one.
In the run up to the round table, Tara is upset because Natalie's being so aggressive about Rob. She thinks they should go with someone else because he has the dagger. Charlie, can you expand on your belief that Tara was right there? Because I was like, I was trying to think through the end game, and it's an interesting moment because even if you know Rob is the traitor in that moment, would it have been the right moment to take him out or not?
It would have been incredibly difficult. They would have had to get every single person other than Rob and Eric, right? Because it would have been 7. So it would have been two for Rob. Or I guess it would have been 5-3 at that point. There's 8 total votes. Rob, Eric, and Maura. So they would have to switch Eric or Maura to their side of it, which seemed impossible after the conversation with Maura. So you play it cool. You're like, okay, we can eliminate Mark. And then when you have one more round table, you vote out Rob. And you're like, we now know this. We're keeping our 4 together, because genuinely, if you get to that fire, if you get to the end of the game and both traitors are alive, the faithfuls are done. They cannot win the game. Yeah. I mean, I guess in theory, they could.
Johnny explained that to her, by the way, at one point. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Johnny is like, if it's Rob, we need Maura and Eric at one point. So Johnny's actually doing the math. Maura is a lost cause. David, was it frustrating for you watching her be so obstinate in her defense of Rob and not even like, just like questioning it? Like this is obviously in my line of questioning. It was frustrating for me. Did you feel like irritated watching her?
It was a range of emotions, because at the beginning of the episode, I felt really bad for her. I felt bad because like Rob had done such a good job of deceiving her, and she trusted him fully. But then as the episode went on, I was like, he's actually not doing a lot to deceive you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like, I promise you, like he's not like doing this stuff that's like leaving her. He's not playing a great game to fool her. His game is just like, she'll trust me, it'll be fine. And she's just doing it like without any deeper thought. So about halfway through the episode, I was like extremely frustrated with her lack of just even quick. Because yes, he's loyal to you, but it's still a game. He's still playing a game. Like this is not an actual betrayal. He's just playing a game. It's his job to do this, and you should be able to parse it out a little bit.
So I think I would have been frustrated with Maura, except for the fact that Natalie, I thought, was just like so infuriating this season that I was just rooting for Rob throughout all of this, where I was like, these people have been so annoying about this that really the end of Candace, I thought was a delight for most of the season. And then Natalie, I was like, I now just want Rob to win. The faithfuls don't deserve to win this season.
The only faithful, since we're having this conversation, that I'm rooting for is Johnny Weir. Because I really think he is the only one who is making like astute observations, like the one I mentioned, and I feel like he is the one, maybe Mark, but I think he's going to get killed, which we'll get to. He's kind of the only one I think's got a chance. Like, Tara didn't even want to play anymore.
Right, yeah.
That was so sad.
That was really sad.
And Mark was it's just a game.
I know. All right, let's do the round table. Natalie freaking blew it, man. What a choke job. what you talked about, Hardin. So it starts off with Rob and, Natalie. Rob's like, I feel a distance from you, Natalie. And Natalie's like, I've noticed a change in demeanor in you. And she brings up the Candace thing. Maura says, it was a throwaway vote. Which, like, Mark says that of everybody, she was the person who he thinks that they've caught would have done something purposeful, which is true. Tara starts wavering, and then Natalie gets mad at Tara and just loses it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So look, if I was Natalie, would I have been frustrated by Tara? Sure. This isn't even before we even get to the votes, which is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Attacking her was insane behavior.
But also, Mina, side point, if you were Tara and you floated your gossip to Natalie and then she ran with it and ruined your game plan, how mad, like you would not have, you would have flipped on Natalie too. Like when, like, you idiot, I'm not aligning with you.
David, I mean, Natalie, come on.
Yeah. I mean, she presented herself as a wild card that nobody can trust, that has no allies, which is exactly what a traitor would look like. She looks like every time. That's the thing. Everything that Natalie has done has looked like sabotage to the game at every step of the way. Telling everybody Rob's got the dagger, getting the vial, doing this. It looks like sabotage because she just panics. She just panics at these moments and loses sight of strategy, loses sight of herself, and just kind of goes after people and looks like a very guilty person. That's what guilty people do. And she absolutely looks like she's melting down every time.
Rob decides to use the dagger here. I just want to discuss this decision.
This was the last week he was allowed to use the dagger as Alan. Which, by the way, I did wonder, it would have been such a flex for him to be like, nah, I'm good.
By the way, knowing that too makes your point so accurate about how Tara should have waited, but whatever.
Yeah.
And she wanted to, so. Everybody votes for, before it even gets to the, like, I think Natalie was the second or third person or something. She voted for Tara.
Yeah.
Like, she might have just said it. Banish me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What on earth was she thinking? Crazy.
It was a throwaway vote at the wrong time. How do you do a throwaway vote on the round table where you initiated?
I know.
She couldn't even vote for Rob at the end, where then she could have been like, I'm right. I led you down the right path. Rob did not, like, we talked about this is the most heat that was on Rob. He received 0 votes. 0 votes.
Okay, this is the first moment in the series where I have been sympathetic to the internet theory that Rob is coasting versus strategy, because I do think Rob has played a really good game, but I think that cracks started to emerge in that game a couple weeks ago, maybe, and they're just like, the last 2 weeks have been a show of incompetence on the part of several faithfuls who could have taken him out. Candace, and starting around there. She was a traitor, sorry. But anyways, there's been other people who I feel like have really screwed up along the way, and including Natalie here. I just cannot fathom the fact that he hasn't gotten more heat on him at this point. It's crazy.
He didn't even play a good game this episode. I thought this was the worst episode for him. Totally. This was the worst episode for him. And he didn't even make a compelling argument.
One vote the entire season. It was from a traitor who was campaigning against him.
All right, so Natalie reveals she's out. She's a faithful. Rob says we're effed in a kind of unbelievable way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tara cries and says she doesn't want to play anymore.
such a solo sport kid, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Rob, sometimes there's a duet and it's her and Johnny. The skating twins is what Rob calls them. Rob says to the camera, Natalie messed up, which is obvious. Mark says to Rob, Tara's reaction was real. The crying and stuff. Notes that Eric said nothing. So Mark is, it's not clear if Mark thinks that Mark is onto Eric. Johnny says Rob and Eric are very clearly the remaining traitors.
Yeah.
So now it's just about numbers and who has them.
And also, one thing to be clear, Rob went to Maura and was like, we need to end the game without Johnny and Tara. So he started to lay the groundwork before, but it was even before the round table is when he was like, chicken looks good. And he was basically like,
oh yeah.
We like after this round table, I'm guessing he had more of an idea that Natalie was going to self-immolate based on the car ride home that we didn't see all of, but that he was basically like, when we get to endgame, we want it to be like our little crew. So get ready to turn on these people. I think he was starting to lay the groundwork for that for Maura, and she seemed somewhat receptive, but then gave him like one of these, like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that in mind, let's talk about the decision that Rob and Eric have, because they get to do a kill. It's going to be in public, but they just have to act normal, which we'll see. So right now, there's 6 people left. Let's play this out. We got to game this out. Rob and Eric, Maura, Johnny and Tara, and Mark. So let me just throw this out, and then you guys can tell me what you think. You can't at this point. So the idea is one of the people. First of all, there's gonna be another round table tomorrow, so you're gonna have to survive that. One of Johnny or Tara, if you cake out one of them, is coming to the fire, because everyone knows they're not going to kill each other. Right? I mean, that's Tara's so clearly innocent, by the way. And I don't think there's a soul there who believes Johnny would kill Tara if he was a traitor.
Right.
You can't take one of them to the fire, to your point.
Right.
Because if you take either one of them in the fire, you ain't getting out of the fire, because they will not believe you.
Well, if you can take one of them, and then Eric and Rob can just throw we don't want to end the game into it, and then just vote out that person.
Oh, okay. You're saying if you had a...
But that's why Eric and Rob need to be together. Like, they need to have 2 of them. They need to have the numbers.
2 always.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so...
Johnny or you can't... One of Johnny and Tara feels like they got to be in that casket, right? Like, they can't make it to the round table. That's what I feel like, right?
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. So I thought about this, because it's like, you can break up the 2-person voting block if you get rid of Johnny and Tara. But I would say that you would kill Mark. And I would say that the only thing that really matters is keeping Maura as your swing vote going into the final round table. And whatever can keep Maura voting with Eric and Rob, that should be the only thing they're thinking about. Like, what is the kill that will cause the least heat on them in the eyes of Maura? And that's pretty much it, because like, we know that Mark's onto it. Like, I know he hasn't said it to the camera, but like, if he's going to realize tomorrow, if he survives this, that those 2 are the traitors, and he needs to vote against one of them. Interesting.
So if you get rid of Mark, then okay. So I think what you're saying is, so next round table is 5 people, and to your point, Rob and Eric just need a third to handle Johnny and Tara. So you're right. I did the math wrong, because I was thinking like, you can't, if you need either both of them gone or one of them, but you're right. Even if they both make it to the fire, as long as you have 3. But do we really think Maura is dumb enough to vote out Johnny or Tara?
The ceiling is the floor with Maura. That's the thing.
Let's get rid of Mark. I just think Johnny and Tara are so obviously faithfuls.
Yeah.
It's so insane to me, the idea that if, let's say you get rid of Mark, that Maura would vote out one of them. Because if you're Rob, that's what you need to happen, right? You need to vote out one of those 2 at that point. Then you have the majority. You go to David, like, how could you possibly think if you're Maura, it's one of them?
That's why to me, I gotta break up the Skater twins now, and then convince everybody that it was a last gasp effort by them, by whoever you don't vote out. So say you vote out Johnny, I would spend the rest of the night saying it's a last gasp effort by Tara, who played this thing perfectly. She's been gaming Johnny. She cried at the round table.
No one's gonna believe that.
Or you get rid of Tara and say that it's Johnny then, and then, you know what I'm saying, like either one of those, and you say, because I would be terrified of these 2 people who are somehow getting better by the episode. Like this is they are like,
here's what I would do really quick.
All right.
This just depends on how much of a dog Rob is. If he can go in there with his beautiful bluish green eyes that no one can look at, and he's going to tell Maura on the side, hey, here's the deal. I know you and I are faithfuls. We're not going to find out who another traitor is, period. Because the last roundtable, they don't tell them if the person banished is traitor or faithful. Here's what's going to happen. You, me, and Eric are going to vote together. We're going to get rid of the Skater twins. We're going to go to the fire. We're going to get rid of the last two people, whether it's Mark or Eric. We're going to get rid of Eric too. And then you and I are going to split the money. And she's going to look at him in the eyes. She's like, I believe you. You're my person. We're taking it to the end. And he's going to totally screw over and he's going to leave with everything. That's the way that he gets Maura to vote with him to the end.
Please don't.
And then he becomes, but then Rob's an all-time villain. All-time villain.
Okay. My thought is, so your initial strategy, vote out Mark, get Maura to vote and vote against the Skater twins.
And also know that having the side conversation, we're going to pick up Eric too. Us two are winning.
Yeah. That would also work, if you can just at some point just be like, Maura, let's just ride this out, get rid of Mark, and then we can, get out. The other thing you could do if you're Rob and Eric, let's be real, he's the main character, is vote out Johnny. Everybody knows Tara's faithful, right? And then it's down to 4 of you, and you might be able to turn on Eric at that. Oh no, but you need him for your voting block.
Mm-hmm. You need him to the fire.
I was gonna say, you could you convince Maura to turn on Mark?
You need him to the fire. You got
because if you get rid of Johnny, you only need one person to vote with you. Mm-hmm. So you would need Maura to vote. Because we're down to 5. Let's say you get rid of Johnny. It's Tara, Rob, Maura, Eric, and Mark, right? Mm-hmm. Rob and Eric are a block. No, there's no other pure block in this game right now, or whatever. Yeah. So you just need, everyone knows, no, it's not Tara. You just need Maura or Mark. Mark can't get the numbers. He would have to get Maura and Tara, which he could. You're right. That's probably too much of a risk. Yeah. I do think you're right.
Yep. And then you got to tell Maura, we're doing this at the end. At the end, we're flipping on everyone. You and I are going to win this. We're the only two faithfuls.
Your best chance in this thing is, I agree, is flipping, is just getting Maura to manipulating Maura. Mm-hmm. So now I'm rooting for Maura to show us all that we're idiots. Mm-hmm. I would love nothing more for this woman to be like, hey, you know what? You thought I was this dumb thing who was going to, didn't know how to think? Well, it's Robin and Eric. I would love for that to happen.
Well, the way that she should play that is get it all the way to the end, get it to her and Rob, and then just flip on Rob and throw the other flame in. Yeah.
Because if Mark gets killed tonight, then Johnny and Tara have to flip Maura. They have no chance, which is, I actually think, possible. I really do think that's possible. I think Johnny and Tara are so obviously faithfuls. I really believe they could convince her.
I agree.
What universe would you look at Tara Lipinski crying and think she's not a
I am team break up the Olympians. They are the top 0.00001% of their chosen field. I just don't trust that level of talent around me as enemies. I just don't. He came up with the cross-eye thing. He said if you cross your eyes, you can't trust somebody like that out in the last second of a tournament.
I'm already eliminated from our game because I picked Kristen to survive. So it's between David and Charlie. And we're just gonna do straight up, straight down. Are the Traitors or the Faithfuls gonna win? I'll say this: I think the Faithfuls could do it. I really do. I just think, Maura, come on, please, for our gender, please.
I can't believe this is what it comes down. It comes down to Maura. This whole thing is coming down to Maura. I cannot believe it.
So funny.
I got the Traitors. I got the Traitors winning. I have no faith in the Skater twins, nor Maura, nor Mark. Although Mark's social media, I don't know if you cut. A lot of people think he wins based on his social media, that he's been so positive about the show, but I think they have to kill him. I think he's getting killed.
If they don't kill him, then he could absolutely win.
Yeah.
If they don't kill him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's gonna know to vote with that, and he's gonna make Maura for the love of God. Because that's the thing is, I think he could Maura for the love of God, open your eyes.
Somebody convince this woman, David.
I'm gonna go Traitors as well. But since me and Charlie are tied, I'm gonna go faithful. So let's go faithful so we can just put some stakes on it. Let's put some stakes on it. Mara, I need you.
All right. Next week, Charlie, you're gonna be absent next week.
I'll be gone.
I actually have to figure out when we're taping because I'm going to be in Indianapolis, but I'll make it work. Thus concludes this week's podcast. All right. Thank you guys for all your fun comments and spread the word, and we'll be back next week.